Salams and welcome to part 9 of the Seerah of the Prophet Sal'lal'laa'hu Muhammad, his life based on the earlier sources by Martin Lings, a fabulous book. And today we are busy with chapter number 4, which is the recovery of a loss. We went through chapter number 1, the house of God, chapter number 2, a great loss, and we just finished the Quraysh of the hollow, and now we're coming to chapter 4, which is recovery of a loss. The recovery of a loss. Adjoining the northwestern side of the Kaaba, northwestern side of the Kaaba, there is a small precinct surrounded by a low semicircular wall. And if you go for Hajj and Umrah, you'll know that this is known as the Hatim, in the area where it is believed that the Ismail alayhi salam and Hajar alayhi salam are buried there. But the Hatim is a part of the Kaaba itself. So when you're praying in the Hatim area, that semicircular area, it's as if you're praying inside the Kaaba. Right, so that is part of the Kaaba. So it's a very, very sacred place as well. So adjoining the northwest side of the Kaaba, there is a small precinct surrounded by a low semicircular wall. The two ends of the wall stop short of the north and west corners of the house, leaving a passage for pilgrims. But many pilgrims make wide their circle at this point and include the precinct within their orbit, passing around the outside of the low wall. The space within it is named as Hijr Ismail because the tombs of Ismail and Hajar alayhi salam lie beneath the stones which pave it. Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of the Prophet Sal'la'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sallam, who is now the chief of Mecca, chief of fulfilling the rights of the pilgrims insofar as water and food is concerned, Abdul Muttalib so loved to be near the Kaaba that he would sometimes order a couch to be spread for him in the Hijr or the Hatim area that we know it. And one night, when he was sleeping there, a shadowy figure came to him in a vision, in a very powerful dream, and said, "Dig, sweet clarity." Very cryptic words, very strange words. He just said, "Dig, sweet clarity." And Abdul Muttalib in his dream is asking this figure, what is this clarity? What is the sweet clarity that you're talking about? But the speaker vanished. Before he could answer, the speaker was gone. The dream ended. So a very cryptic, very strange dream. It says, dig, sweet clarity. And Abdul Muttalib said, what is the sweet clarity? Right? Boom. Before he could get an answer, that the dream ended. Right? So it was a very strange dream, very strange dream. He nonetheless felt such happiness and peace of soul. Now we feel very happy and peace of soul when you have this beautiful dream. And I'm sure you've also had many beautiful dreams. Alhamdulillah, I've also had many beautiful dreams. Some dreams you wake up, you feel so nice. It's such real dreams, such magnificent and beautiful dreams. It remains with you for a long, long time. Sometimes for years and years you will remember the dream, right? So Abdul Muttalib nonetheless felt such happiness and peace of the soul when he woke up, that he determined to spend the next night also in the same place. And we also have the same thing. So he said, that was such a nice dream. But that figure that came, I wasn't sure what that figure was. And I asked him the question, what is the sweet clarity? And maybe if I sleep in the same spot again, maybe I'll get the same dream again. Logic, right? Intelligence. So then the next night, he had the same dream. That shadowy figure in his dream came again. He got a visitor in his dream. And the visitor this time said, dig beneficence. Very strange. So the first dream was drink sweet clarity. Now it's dig beneficence. Very strange. And again Abdul Muttalib asked, what is this beneficence? Poof, the dream ended. Right? He got no answer. So now he was very curious. He said, okay, now the third night, I'm going to sleep in the same spot. I want to figure out what is going on here. Something really remarkable is happening here. So he slept again the third night in Hajar, in the Hatim area, right? In the Hijr Ismail area, in the semicircular area. It's, just below the Mizab-e-Rahmah. I love the Mizab-e-Rahmah. That gold water spot. And below that, all the Rahmah and mercy and blessing shower down. So that's a favorite spot to pray as well. So Abdul Muttalib slept here in that particular very sacred place for the third night. Now it's the third night and he's hoping to get a dream again. So let's see what happens in the third night. This time that figure now came to and gave him a much more longer answer. And listen to the answer now. Dig the treasured hoard. That means dig up the bounty. There's a bounty there. Dig it up. And yet again, the speaker vanished at his questioning. Gone. So Abdul Muttalib said, now what is going on? So he slept for the 4th night. Again in the same spot. He said, I need to find out what's going on. First I must dig for sweet clarity. Then I must dig for the beneficence. Then I must dig for the treasure. What is going on? So the 4th night he said, I need to figure out what's going on. And the 4th night the command was, dig Zamzam. Wow. So Abdul Muttalib said in his dream, what is Zamzam? What must I dig Zamzam? And here the beautiful reply came. Dig her, thou shalt not regret, for she is thine inheritance from thy greatest ancestor, referring to Ibrahim alayhi salam. Dry she never will. She will never go dry. Dry she never will, nor fail to water all the pilgrim throng. She will never go dry, nor will she fail to water all the pilgrims, no matter their multitude. SubhanAllah, what a beautiful, wonderful dream. Then the speaker told him to look for a place where there was blood and dung, an ant's nest, and pecking ravens. Now this is important because at the place where the Kaaba was, there was a lot of sacrifices going on with camels. So the instruction was, go to that area where they're sacrificing the camels, and you'll find blood. That means the camel has been slaughtered. And you'll find dung of the camels, and you'll find a lot of flies there, a lot of ants. There'll be an ant's nest there, a lot of insects in the area. Look for that particular spot, and that's the key where you must start digging, right? So that came a very powerful clue. So then he was told, finally he was told to pray for clear, full flowing water that will water God's pilgrims throughout their pilgrimage. So when dawn was breaking, Abdul Muttalib was very excited. He said, wow, now he's at that team. Remember, he's just there at that team, and Zamzam water is just across there. So he was very excited now. He needs to dig this place while it's fresh in his mind. So he rose up, he left the hijra at the north corner of the holy house, which is called the Iraqi corner. Then he walked along the northeast wall at the other end, which is the door of the Kaaba. And passing this, he stopped a few feet beyond it at the east corner, where he reverently kissed the black stone. So he just made his complete tawaf and came to the black stone, Hajar Aswad. He kissed it, and from there he began the right of the rounds, going back past the door to the Iraqi corner, across to the Hijr to the west corner, then the Syrian corner, and then to the Rukn Yamani, the Yemenite corner, which is towards the south. The children of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Abraham, are like the lines of Ishmael and Isaac, go around the sanctuaries with a movement opposite to that of the sun. As he walked from the Yemenite corner to the black stone, he could see the dark slope of Abu Qubais, and beyond it to the further eastern hills, sharply outlined against the yellow light. 7 times he went around, and each time the light was appreciably brighter, for in the Arabian the dawns and dusks are very brief. Having fulfilled the rite, he went from the black stone to the door, and taking hold of the metal ring which hung from the lock, he prayed the prayer which he had been told to pray. There was a sound of wings, and a bird alighted in the sand behind him. So he was told to pray, so he prayed, and all of a sudden he saw a big bird coming, and the wings were flapping, and he turned around to see where this bird landed. Then another bird alighted, another bird came down, and having finished his supplication, he turned and watched them strut with their raven's gait towards 2 rocks, which were about 100 yards away, almost opposite the door. These had been adopted as idols, and it was between them that Quraysh sacrificed their victims. Abdul Muttalib knew well, as did the ravens, that there was always blood in the sand at that place between those 2 statue idols, between those 2 rocks. That is a sacrificial place. That's where the ravens came in his dream. That is where there was blood. That's where he's going to find the ant's nest and the dung. And so that's where he also found the dung. And going up to it now, he now saw that there was also the nest of an ant. He went to his house and took 2 pickaxes, one of which was for his son Harith. So at that stage he only had 1 son. Son Harith, who he brought with him to the place where he knew that he must dig. The thud of the tools in the sand and the unusual sight, for the courtyard could be seen from all sides. Very strange. People are watching, what is this guy doing? He's digging up the sand. What's going on? You're not supposed to dig up there where the Kaaba is, right? So soon attracted a crowd, And despite the greatest respect that they had for Abdul Muttalib, it was not long before some of them protested that it was a sacred site and you can't dig at this place between the idols, and that he must stop. He said, please stop. What are you doing? I mean, these are our idols. We do our sacrifices. What's wrong with you? You know, why you do? After all this time, you're quiet all these years, you're doing a good job with the pilgrimage, and now you're starting to dig here by our most sacred site where we sacrifice the animals. Don't do that. He said he will not stop. And he told Harith to stand by him and he must protect him. You know, and if he later on will realize why he felt so uncomfortable. And he prayed for a lot of sons. At that stage, he only had one, which is Harith. And he had no one to protect him. That's why he made a dua for 10 sons. But we'll come to that. And the youngest of that is Abdullah, the father of the Prophet ﷺ. So at this point, he told his son Harith, I'm going to keep on digging here, right? You just watch my back. You make sure they don't attack me, but I'm going to keep on digging here, right? So so that brings us to the end. Let's continue the next session where we now know that Abdul Muttalib is continuing to dig. He's about to be attacked by the rest of the people who are telling him to stop. He's telling his son to protect his back, and let's see what happens after that. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.